I wonder just how important it is to pass the CML assessment component in Econ 1310. I've often wondered this, so I decided to get some actual data from semester 1 2012, and I discovered that 744 students sat the final exam in the course and were awarded a grade. That is, they got a 7, 6, 5 and so on. 620 of these students passed the course, with 141 failing the CML assessment. Another 50 students failed the CML assessment, but were still able to pass the course. So I took this data and put it in this table, and you can see that I'm interested in passing Econ 1310 across this way, failing Econ 1310 across here, pass the CML and fail the CML. So for instance, you can see that the 744 is the total number of students. 620 represents the number of students who passed the course, and so on. So see if you can fill in the rest of this table by just stopping here for a sec and calculate those numbers. If you do that, you get this table called the contingency table, and the numbers in blue are what you should have calculated. So you can see 570 plus 50 is 620. That's the number passing the course. 620 plus 124 is 744, and so on. So if we take this table and divide all the numbers by 744, we get this table, which is called the joint probability table. And from here we can read probabilities. So for instance, the probability of passing Econ 1310, we can read across here, is 83.3%. The probability of failing the CML is down here, which is 19%, and so on. So the good news from all of this seems to be that the probability of passing the course we can show is 83%, which is what we just saw, meaning that 4 out of 5 people actually passed the course, which is great. So again, probability of passing Econ 1310 is 620 over 744. Okay, but there's still more good news, because I was interested in looking at what's the probability of passing the course given or if you pass the CML. And that turns out to be 95%. So where did I get that from? If we just go back, the probability of passing the course given that you pass the CML, as soon as we say given passing the CML, we'll reduce the sample space to only 603. And the number that passed Econ 1310 is 570. So it's 570 over 603. So 95% chance of passing the course if you pass the CML component of the course. That's pretty impressive, because that means you're almost certain to pass the course if you pass the CML component. Okay, so the question really then comes down to, how can we improve the overall pass rate that we saw as 83%? And we've just seen the impact of the CML. So I thought, let's go after this CML and have a closer look. So I looked at the probability of failing the CML, and that turns out to be 19%, 141 over 744. And that's not that great, because that means 1 in 5 are actually failing these quizzes, or the quiz component of the course. So just to check that out, chance of failing the CML, that's 141 over 744. So I looked a little further at this and said, okay, what's the chance of failing the course if you fail the quiz? And this was interesting in that 91 over 141 gave me 65%. So where did that come from? If you fail the CML, so here's if you fail the CML limits the sample space down to 141, and failing the course is 91. So it's 91 over 141. There it is there. So 65% of people fail the course if they fail the quiz. So that means for every 2 out of 3 people not passing these quizzes or the CML assessment, that means 2 out of 3 will not pass the course. So that's a little bit of a worry. So I had a little bit of a look at this 91 just to see who these people were. And 69 of these people who failed both the CML assessment and the course, it turns out that there was 36 who only did 3 or less of the 6 quizzes available, which was a bit of a surprise, and there was quite a few people who did 0 quizzes, didn't try any. And then there was 33 people who scored more than 7 but less than 10. So thinking about this, I thought, well, surely we can get nearly everybody to have a go at these quizzes. I don't see why we don't all have a go. And surely we can give these people who just failed the CML component of the course a bit of a nudge to get them over the line. So let's say I could get hold of those 69 people and get them through the course. I then tried to look at, let's say, another 44 students if I could find to get through the course to add to the 69. And that would give me 113 students who would pass this CML assessment. So why 44? Well, what this 113 now passing the course who used to fail means is that I'll reduce those failing from 141 all the way down to only 28 if I get 113 of them to now pass. So that's an 80% reduction in the CML fail rate. And you think, wow, that's optimistic, isn't it? To reduce the fail rate by that much? Well, perhaps so, but I'm an optimistic guy. So if I did that, at least now I know what I've got to target. I want to try and reduce the CML failure rate right down. And if I can reduce it, I'll redistribute these people that now pass using this idea of 95% who now pass the CML will pass the course. And by doing that, I rejigged the table we had at the start to show that those failing the course now has dropped from 141 all the way down to 28. That's the 80% reduction in the fail rate. And I redistributed these failing the CML now into passing the course. And you'll see that if you look at those numbers, the total passing the course is around 687. So if that's the case, the chance of now passing the course turns out to be 687 on 744, which is 92%, which is good because that's up from the previous 83%. So I guess the lesson here is that to pass the CML quiz almost guarantees you pass the course, but if you don't pass the CML quiz, it's a real battle to actually pass the course. So the CML assessment component of this course seems to be vital to actually get through it. So how are we going to improve this CML passing rate? Well, in the lectures we've talked about making sure you do all the tutorial questions before you try the quiz. Try the practice quiz and follow the rules. Try and do each of the quizzes early in the week and check it with a friend, and then submit the quiz early. And really, as I just said, working with a friend and helping others seems to be a real key to doing well. But they're my suggestions, and I'm really happy for your suggestions. And I'm more than happy for you to email them to me and we can give them a go. So there's my email address there, so feel free to send me your ideas, and I'm sure we can improve the passing rate for the CML assessment in this course and help more people get through the course. So I'm looking forward to some of your ideas and getting back to you soon. Thanks everyone.